Hey there, marketers. You're listening to the Son of a Pitch podcast, where modern marketing strategy is broken down into clear, practical ideas you can actually use. I'm your host, Kenneth, and today we're talking about the simple funnel most brands actually need, not the overbuilt, overcomplicated versions that look good on whiteboards but rarely work in the real world. This episode is brought to you by Pitch Cloud, the creative studio helping brands communicate with clarity through strategy, video, and design. You can learn more at pitchcloudmanagement.com. Let's dive in. A lot of marketers feel frustrated with funnels. They've tried lead magnets, multi-step email sequences, retargeting ads, and landing pages stacked on top of landing pages, and yet results still feel inconsistent. What usually happens is this: traffic comes in, engagement looks decent, but conversions stall. So teams respond by adding more steps, more emails, more tools, more logic. But the problem usually isn't that the funnel is missing pieces. Is that the funnel is too complex for how people actually behave today. People don't move through funnels neatly anymore. They bounce between platforms. They watch before they read. They observe before they act. And when a funnel doesn't match that reality, it breaks down. Here's the myth that trips up a lot of brands. If we just design the perfect funnel, conversions will follow. But in reality, funnels don't fail because they aren't sophisticated enough. They fail because they demand too much from the buyer too quickly. Common problems include too many decisions early, too much information up front, too many CTAs competing for attention, or unclear next steps. When people feel overwhelmed, they don't move forward, they pause. And pausing is usually the end of the journey. At their core, funnels aren't about automation. They're about momentum. A good funnel does three simple things. It creates clarity, it builds trust, and it makes the next step obvious. That's it. If a funnel doesn't do those three things, no amount of optimization will save it. Funnels aren't meant to impress marketers. They're meant to help people decide. And when you strip away the tools and tactics, you're left with something much simpler than most brands expect. Here's the version most brands actually need. They need helpful content. This is where people first encounter you. Educational, clarifying, or trust building. The goal isn't to sell, it's to orient. Then they need a clear point of progress, not a massive commitment, just a small step forward. This might be subscribing, following, downloading something simple, watching more content. Progress builds comfort. And then a clear offer. Only after clarity and trust are established, the offer shouldn't surprise anyone. It should feel like the natural next step. If your offer feels abrupt, the funnel moved too fast. So let's ground this in patterns, not hypotheticals. You see, simple funnels work when creators post consistently, that invite deeper engagement, and when businesses educate before pitching, and when brands answer questions publicly before selling privately. The funnel doesn't feel like a funnel. It feels like a conversation that progresses naturally. That's the point. If there's one thing to remember from today's episode, funnels don't need more steps. They need more clarity. When people understand where they are and what comes next, they move forward on their own. That wraps up today's episode of Son of a Pitch. If this helps simplify how you think about funnels, share it with someone who's stuck over-engineering theirs. Next week, we'll close out this arc with From Content to Clients, turning marketing into revenue. For more strategy and creative support, you can visit pitchcloudmanagement.com. See you next week.